Well, if you couldn't tell, I've got another mechatronic unit on a B8.5 S4. Runs like a bag of shit, pardon my French. Well, it runs fine, but shifts terrible, chatters in limp mode and all that. I pulled the mechatronic. Well, it's got the same codes that qualify for the TSP. It's got clutch 1 excessive slippage, torque reduction because of excessive heat, transmission overheating, blah blah blah. So I've pulled the mechatronic out. I'm going to replace the circuit boards and the insulators and the screws and do a service on it. But before I do that, I always like to measure the solenoids for resistance. Basically, everywhere you see one of those squares are two contacts for solenoids. Let's see, this one is the same as that one. This one is the same as this one. Those two are the same, and those four are the same. So when you measure, same type of solenoid, you should have the same type of resistance. Alright, if one measures 7, one measures 20, you've got a problem. So I've got my meter set on continuity, and I'm going to start measuring. See what happens when I touch them? I get a resistance value, right? So I'll go to these big ones, the shift forks. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5. And 4.5. So that's good. Now I'll go to these other guys. That's a 4.1, and where's the other one? Right here. 4.0. So again, that's a very good reading. 4.0, 4.1. Hang on now. There we go. 4.1, 4.1. Okay, so they are identical. Let's try one more time. There's one of them. 4.1 and 4.1. Okay, good. Next, we'll go to these two. These have 13.1. 13.1, very good. And the last two, 4.7 and 4.7. So all the solenoids are measuring just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this circuit board. If you look at the old one, those are what the wires look like, and there's an A at the end of it right there. That's the old revisions. The new revisions is an F. Now it's an F on the label, but to be honest, if you look at the board, it's actually a C. A C on this one, and a D on that one. So Audi sells these as an F, but it's really just a C and a D, which are fine. That's the. If you look at the wiring, you'll notice it's got different wires, different colors. This is nothing more than a. I mean, this circuit board doesn't do anything but traces two wires from two pins over here, sends it to these two pins. That's it. There's one wire going through there and up to there, and then another wire goes through there and up to there, and that's the only thing this thing's do. I don't think it's got anything else in it. It might have like a temperature sensor, maybe here, and that's it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that scientific. So we're going to swap that out. I'm going to swap these. These are some insulators, rubber insulators for the contacts. Some are under the plus sign, some are a minus sign, some are these hats. and then you get new bolts. I will replace them because they're here, but if you don't have them and you want to just reuse the bolts, that's fine too. No big deal. Then we'll throw a filter and some DSG oil. In this case, the customer provided all the parts and they are fine. You know, it's the same parts that I would use, except for the gear oil. I like to use liquid moly. This one is Febi, but as long as it's compatible and it's the right stuff, I don't see any DSG anywhere, but I'm hoping it's the right stuff. I gotta check this part number and then make sure that it's the right stuff. If not, I'm gonna use my stuff. Actually, I don't have any at this moment, so this better be the right stuff or we have a problem. All right, that's it.